What up?
Hey, yo, it's Chloe.
Shani.
And we are here for this episode of Horrors in Hospitality. Shannon is going to start us off. Our first category is going to be about embarrassing moments.
They used to be embarrassing, but they're just like absolutely hilarious to think about now. I think the one I wrote down was that it was so long ago, but I was like serving like drinks to this table, and this table was like full of like servers and bartenders. I like got immediately when I got over the table, I like dropped the tray of drinks on their table. It was so bad. And I've done that only like 2 times in my life, and the second time was funny too. But
That's
this
rough.
first time was like so traumatizing back then. Yeah.
That's rough.
That was so rough. And I felt they were so nice though, like, cause like they did this for a living, so like they weren't like mad, they understood, so that was nice. But I was so embarrassed. I was like, how could you be such an idiot?
That's rough.
Like, watch where you're going. Don't look at your feet while you're fucking walking with a tray of drinks.
I have a really relatable drink story. Embarrassing. White shirt, full button down, bottle of like $500 red wine. So the spill probably cost like $35 on the front of my shirt. That was great. Yeah.
I would absolutely jump out of a window if I spilt red wine down a white shirt.
I was always terrified every time I open a bottle of red wine. And like this one night too, I'm not going to ever forget, I was pretty cocky. Like I remember thinking like, I'm not going to spill this. And then I did. I pulled the cork out and it was like...
That's what happened to me the second time I spilled drinks. Like I was just working and I was walking. And I had full tray of drinks. And one of them like fell in, and it was like a domino effect on the fucking tray. They all fell on the ground, and like I love my boss because she was just like, way to go, Shani, and like winked at me. But like it was just so hilarious. Like I don't think I was that embarrassed with this time because it was just fucking hilarious. Like, because what the fuck are you doing? How could you manage to do that after working at this place for 2 years? How could you manage to do that?
So I feel like I don't remember where I was or whatever, but I have this like vague memory right now in my head coming to me about spilling hot soup on someone. And if it happened, if it was me that did it or if somebody else did it, I don't know. But I just remember I'm just thinking about how awful that would be to just like spill burning hot soup on someone's lap.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think I spilled ketchup on somebody once. Was it you that was telling me about something was spilled on a baby?
No, not me.
Child?
But,
oh
that's
my
scary.
god.
Yeah, that's scary too.
I think someone was telling me about that, but it wasn't like anything like hot or anything, but oh my gosh, I just remember being like,
yeah, that's
what
rough.
the
No,
fuck?
Okay. Well, my last embarrassing moment would be fainting and waking up to paramedics with ice packs in my armpits and like the back of my neck because it was
Why did you faint?
Because it was the middle of summer.
Oh my god.
And we had to wear long sleeve shirts, and jeans was like at this one place I worked. And
that makes sense.
It was like, I think it was like Flag Day or something, because this was like a Hudson place, and I remember there was like a parade that day. But yeah, I ended up fainting, and I had EMTs wake me up, and I had ice packs. But I ended up working. I didn't leave work. I ended up finishing out my shift. I like got up. I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh, I'm fine.
She's a hustler.
I was like, oh, I'm fine. I'm like, oh, don't worry about me. I'm good. I'll go back out there. And everybody's like, Chloe, you can like, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Only you would.
So that was.
Only you would.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever like physically gotten injured at work.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. I went to work with like a black eye before, but it wasn't like anything serious. Like
I've gone into
but
work
I felt like people were gonna think that.
I've gone into work with a black eye. So
it's like as much as I tried, I was just like, oh, it's fine. You could see right through that shit. You could see right through that shit.
Yeah, I just wore mine like it was a joke. Like I didn't even cover my makeup.
Oh my god.
Well, black eyes, like, all right. Crying at work. Crying at work?
I do it all the damn time.
Crying at work? Has anybody cried at work?
I've cried at work a thousand times. I've cried.
Well, we had an anonymous writer who wrote in about having a manager that was so mean to them one shift that they ended up crying in their car for more than half of their shift.
That's sad. I've cried, like, the craziest place I've probably ever cried at a job was in the dish pit. But I think that's, like, I don't know. I was doing the dishes, too, and it was very therapeutic. I think that's probably where I'll always go to cry at work.
I was in a walk-in. I feel like the cool air, like, helps me, like, get over it quicker because I don't like to cry. So if I'm gonna cry, I'm, like, in there and then it, like, comes quick and I'm cold and I'm like, this just needs to end.
I remember walk-ins always make me think of vaping.
Comment yes on this video if you can, if it's like if a place where there's comments, and say yes or no if you've ever cried in a walk-in.
I like literally used to vape in walk-ins. Like, I don't think I've ever cried in one. Maybe I've cried in one, but anytime I think of a walk-in, I used to just be hitting the vape. I like the cold air surrounded by me. I don't know. Back in my youth. One of the questions I feel like answering is like have you guys ever thought about, like, I'm quitting this job after this night? Like, fuck that. 'Cause I have had a job like that where I was like, I think I was rage baited by this person because they were just so mean. And they were like, go scrape bread dough off the floor in the bakery. And I was like, okay. But no, I'm not coming back tomorrow. But T, because I did come back and I ended up making that girl feel so bad. And T.
I was rage baited once. I actually did quit. It was actually the job that I first met you at. Do you know why
I quit that job too? Oh my god.
Do you know why I quit that job?
No, I actually think, did I quit that job before you?
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't remember you quitting, so maybe not.
No, but I don't remember why.
I quit because I was put in charge one day, but at the time I was pretty young. Like, I was like 19, but I was manager. Or maybe I was like 20, but I was still young.
I was 20 in the, no, I think I was like 19, 20, yeah, probably, when I was about to quit this job. When I was rage baited, I was the age of 20 as well.
Okay, yeah, it's easy to get rage baited when you're 20. But this,
what? I still get rage baited all the time.
Yeah, but like when someone's doing it intentionally, it's so easy to want to like pop off.
No, yeah, for sure.
When you're younger, I feel like, but like especially at 20, so I was getting rage baited by the owner and also this guy that worked there, the both of them. Oh, this is what was happening. So I was in charge for the day, and then she would tell me what she wanted to do and, like, look at the cameras. And then I would tell everybody what to do. And, like, everyone would just laugh at me and, like, not do it because, like, no one took me serious. And then she would come in and be like, what's going on? Like, why isn't this done? And I'd be like, I literally told them, but no one's listening to me. And she'd be like, well, if I can't leave you in charge, then you shouldn't be in charge. I'm like, it was so insane. And I remember when she said it to me that day, and I was just like, I quit. And I just, like, walked out. And I was just like, I'm not dealing with this anymore.
Period. Because fuck that. I hate disrespectful people like that. Because, like,
I'd ask
and you're looking at the cameras, like, do you not see me working?
I mean, it was just weird. But, I'm trying to think. Oh, actually, another time where I got, like, not rage baited, but I remember being, like, just, like, baffled. Let's use the term baffled. I had a boss. She was also an owner / boss. She wrote a letter to all of our employees at the time, like, our whole team, and was like, everyone, there's all this drama, and, like, everyone needs to calm down. And one of the lines in the letter to everybody was, I wish there was a gender-neutral term for people. First off, people, the word people is gender neutral.
That has got to be the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Excuse me, ma'am? What did she say?
I wish there was a
That's
gender
the dumbest thing I've ever
neutral word for people. I framed it. I highlighted that line.
Hello? Anyone there?
I highlighted that line and, like, framed it and, like, had it in my house as, like, a joke. And, like, the people that would, like, work there would come over sometimes and be like, oh, my God, no, you didn't. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I did. It was just, like, such a funny joke between the staff that we had at the time because we were just, like, this lady. She was also the same person who would get so mad that she would run outside of the restaurant with tickets in her hand. And I remember one time, like, having to chase her out of the restaurant and be like, I understand that you're so-and-so is so upset right now, but could you mind if I have that piece of paper that's in your hand? Because she would, like, go up to the line and get so frustrated and, like, freak out, and she would grab tickets, and then she would walk out of the restaurant, this woman.
Well, that's going to do you no good when you need
and
to
then
bring
she would be outside.
food.
She would be outside with them, and I'd be like, excuse me.
Hello?
I'd
Anyone there?
be
Like,
like,
what is wrong with
I'd
this
be like,
person?
I need those. Or I'd have to, like, rewrite them because we were, like, handwriting tickets at the time.
That would get me so mad.
Okay, yeah. So, do you have any other rage before we leave the topic of rage bait?
I still be rage baited.
Ooh, what about this one? What about in the rage bait in the form of people or, like, a man or, like, somebody coming into your place of work when you work in hospitality to rage bait you? What about that?
Yeah, I have been through that, quite many times,
I was gonna say, right? Isn't that something?
Actually, one of them, Chloe had to, like, say something to the person because they were like...
He was being so disrespectful.
They were just, like, drunk, or not even they. This person was just drunk, and, like, anytime I walked out of the kitchen, it was like, oh, like, Shani this, like, oh, fuck you, Shani, and, like, I was getting just, like, rage baited, and I was really falling for the bait. For sure. This is one of the times I cried in the dish pit because that was so disrespectful. And I went in crying to Chloe because she was in the kitchen.
I came walking right out them doors and I was like, do we have a problem?
She was like, I don't know why Shani's crying right now, but, like, one more issue, like...
I was like, we're going to apologize and we're not going to do this again.
That was so beyond annoying. God bless whoever raised that person. God bless.
All right. So, now we're going to talk about another anonymous write-in that we got for this episode. That's a horror story about when someone got hired for a job. This incident that happened to them was like this. They got hired for a job that had 2 locations, and they were sent to the farther location during their training. They're supposed to be working at the closer location. So they were sent to the farther location, and the first 3 times that they were sent to the farther location, they got cut, and they're supposed to be there for training. They got cut within the first hour. And there was, like, other employees that were reiterating this story to us when we found out about it. So it's insane to hear that somebody who was starting off at a job and was doing training when 3 separate times to do training and then got cut in the first hour. I'm just like, the audacity.
Yeah, I know. I would be tight.
I do also know that this person admitted that they struggled with speaking up and saying anything, but after the 3rd time it happened to them, they just stopped showing up. They just wanted nothing to do with this job.
As they should.
So, which I have had some interesting, like, experiences coming onto jobs, like interview processes, like stuff like that. But I'll never forget this one interview process that I had in Manhattan where I walked in to be a hostess at a restaurant. And so I come in and, like, they were hiring and I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, so we're just going to have you sit at the bar and we're going to have you do an interview at the bar. And so I go and I'm sitting at the bar and I'm waiting for the manager to come upstairs. And then the girl who that was the hostess at the time, like, she ended up being my coworker. She comes over to me and she's like, okay, so you're all set. You're going to come at 4. And I'm like, where's my interview? And she goes, oh, you're okay. He saw you on the cameras. You have the job. So my first job in Manhattan when I was in high school as a hostess, I got from my manager, shout out, you know who you are, you're a boss.
You're a boss.
Yeah. He hired me through the cameras. Also, totally let me at our club, like, Christmas party, because it was a hospitality group. I got to do, like, the announcement.
Oh, cute.
And I, like, walked up the stairs, and I was in high heels, and I got to read off the, like, numbers for, like, the raffle.
Aw, that's
but
so
everybody
cute.
was feeding me champagne, and I think I was, like, 19 or 20 at the time, and I remember being like, oh my
What
gosh.
the fucky?
What did they notice when I'm walking up the stairs? And I'm, like, in my heels, and I had, like, 2 glasses of champagne, and I'm, like, freaking out.
I'm done for the night. No,
Yeah, I was
anymore.
Like, exactly, and I was, like, and I'm, like, walking up the stairs, and I'm, like, I have to do this thing, and I'm, like, and I, like, walk up, and...
Yeah. It's actually an ongoing joke at my job now. Nobody passes me a drink when I'm on the shift because I'm a great worker, but the minute I have alcohol in my bloodstream, out the window. My boss has to be like, what are you doing, Shani? Like, why are you walking left when I told you to walk right? I could never drink while working. I would be toast.
Well,
I would be
technically,
toast.
I wasn't working. It was a holiday party, and I wasn't supposed to be drinking because I wasn't 21. But they were all serving me, my coworkers, and they asked me to do the raffle in the beginning, and I didn't know I was gonna have 2 glasses of wine. And then I forgot, and they called me, and I was like, ah.
I'm like, in my mind, whenever I am out drinking or something, I'm like, I'm training for the day. I can drink at work. But there's just never going to be a day where I can do that.
I don't think it's a good habit.
It's just,
Anyway.
I wish I was strong.
Well, you know,
You can do
alcohol
it.
affects everybody different anyway.
Yeah. But love that
Have
for
you
you.
had-
I love that you got to, like, go be like a little queen.
It was
for
fun.
the night.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
fun. No, it was a cute little moment. Have you ever had any weird experiences with interviews? Going back to what we started with this category?
I get so anxious in interviews.
I know you had a good one recently.
I
we don't need to talk
did.
about it, but I know that you're excited about that.
I did. Got the job.
Which is really exciting.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've never had any weird interviews, actually.
That's good. All right, well, let's end
Eaten
this and
them up.
find something else. All right. So, one of the last stories that we're going to bring in that a listener wrote in was this horrible experience they had with a table who flipped out on them over the sun being in their eyes. Our listener wrote, it was horrifying to them because the one thing that they don't have control over definitely is the sun. So we can relate
That
to
was
that.
the funniest one, I think. Because facts, that's so real. What am I supposed to do?
I mean, I do understand if there's umbrellas, but our listener wrote that there wasn't any umbrellas. None of the other tables had umbrellas, and that the customers had specifically requested the table that they were sitting at.
And it's like, if you don't like the sun so bad, go inside. Go inside.
Exactly.
I, like, have customers like that sometimes who will be like, if you would like the music, I don't know how it relates to the sun, but it just reminded me of it. Like, can you turn the music down? Can you turn it down? I can't turn it down. I don't know. Something my boss taught me is, like, hospitality is about everybody in the room, not just one person. So it's just like,
Yeah,
I
that's
can
a
get you a
good-
different option, but I can't turn the vibes down. No.
That's a good rule of thumb, for sure. There's also this book that I read when I started off in hospitality. It's a Danny Myers book, and there's a part of it where it's, you never let the customer hear no. You'll say yes, or so you'll say, yes, I understand it's loud, instead of, no, I can't turn it down.
No, yeah, right.
Yeah, and you'd be like, yes, I understand it's loud, so what I can do is
Yeah,
I
like,
can
I'm
move
sorry.
you.
Like, do you want a different spot? Yeah. I
Or
get
like,
that.
you know, you can always just like
For
say
sure.
you like always say yes to someone, and then you can like tell them how you're gonna get them what they want, so that they don't have to hear no. It's like a psychology trick. But anyway, it
It's a
works.
good
It
one.
works pretty well.
It's a good tip and trick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have an episode 4 idea for you guys.
I have one funny note for this one to close out on. Should I tell it? No. Should I tell it now or should I wait till the end? Why don't you tell what the next episode's going to be, and then I'll close us out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. We also have a really fun episode 4. We're gonna be doing red flags we ignored.
Red flags that
I feel like
when people ask me, "How did you not see that, Chloe?" It's like, "What? I'm so sorry. Red's my favorite color." Just kidding. Whoopsie.
Like, if we're the people to do that. No, not if we're the people to do that. We're the people to do that. So many red flags have been ignored.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
we're
know
gonna
what
talk
green
about it.
is.
We're gonna talk about red flags that
Never was a
we've
fan
ignored.
of green.
It's gonna be really fun.
I'm excited.
My funny little side note or like end note of this episode, like horrors and hospitality for our first one. We're gonna also run this episode back and talk about more. This is just the first one. But it was that this one time I was a manager at a bar, and it was college bar. And after a really long shift, and I was 2 in the afternoon till 4 a.m. shift.
Yeah, college bars, they'll have you fucking
It was 2
working
in
your
the
ass
afternoon
off.
until 4 a.m. And I like am closing, and it's like 3, and I'm like in my last hour of work or like half hour of cleaning before I do money. And I pull this bar stool to flip it, and I find puke. Like, so much puke.
I would
I'm like, oh my god, there's puke. Okay.
I would close it. I would be like,
No,
whoever did this, you ruined it for everybody else.
It was closed, but like, the bar is closed.
No, I'm saying I would close it for good.
Oh.
No one's coming back here. You disrespectful little shits.
That's so funny. Wait, you're so funny. But no, yeah. So like I'm like fuck. So I'm like okay. So I clean the puke, and then I'm like all paranoid that like maybe there's other puke for some reason. So
We're all around town
So I like
that
turn
night.
my phone flashlight on, and I'm like walking through all the rooms, and I go into this back room that was just like booths, and I'm like looking, and I found an ounce of weed on the floor. And at the time I smoked a lot of pot, so I was like sick.
You were in a college like
Yeah, and I
Candyland
was, like,
type
it was
shit.
before the pandemic.
What
and
the
I was
hell?
like, am I-
Take 2 steps, find some puke. Take
And
3 more steps, find a bag of
I was like, well, you know what? I mean, this free ounce of weed that I'm about to go home with is definitely makes up for the fact that I had to clean up a little pile of puke. So I thought that was pretty funny. I was annoyed, but I was like, well, I have enough weed to not be annoyed
That's
about this
so
anymore.
funny. That's like the description of a college bar. Just,
So that's funny.
what the fuck is this puke from? Where the fuck did this White Claw can that we don't have come from? That's hilarious.
Yeah, so on that, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. Thanks for being here with us.
Soon. Love
Love
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.